Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Brick Something. Today I've got something new, something a little exciting. It's a show I'm calling Well Played. Well Played is an English translation of the phrase leg godt, which in Danish actually means play well. That's where the word Lego comes from. And as you can probably tell, I like Lego. The idea for Well Played is I'm going to get people together and just sort of hang out, have some sort of play dates, if you will. We'll talk toys, we'll play with toys, and maybe learn something along the way. So I've got a friend who's never, ever actually played deeply with Lego before. And for whatever reason, and we'll find out why, this person felt compelled to pay a good amount of money for a really big set. So I was super excited when she said, "Hey, I got this huge Lego set. Can I come over and play?" I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So this is going to be Kayla's first time with Lego. Hey,
Hello.
Kayla.
Hi. Thanks for having
Welcome.
me.
No, seriously, thank you for offering to come on to Brick Something and sort of wrap your head around this whole Lego thing for the very first time.
I'm excited. I'm excited to play with Legos for the first time, at least in a long time.
Yeah, let's start there, actually. You were telling me that when you were little, you played with Duplo, which are those sort of bigger ones, right?
I thought it was
Okay.
Duplo and I looked it up and they were like pretty sizable. They were like this big.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to say like
No idea.
Quattro. There was a while where they were bigger. They actually are like this.
Oh. Yeah, because I was like 3, 4, 5 when I started playing with
Makes
them.
sense. Makes sense. So then,
But yeah, I don't that's pretty much my main experience. I had a friend who was very into Legos growing up, and I think I helped her with some sets here and there, but like maybe when I was like 10, 11
mhm.
ish. But I never had any, of my own or anything.
Okay, so we're gonna bring you into this world of Lego for the first time, and I want to warn you.
Hmm.
I know you've sort of like been in geeky circles and you've been doing the toy thing clearly from all the stuff you've got in the back. So you know that people can get super
Yeah.
passionate and sweaty and sometimes a little bit weird when it comes to these things, right?
And anxiety.
Okay.
Yep.
The reason I say it is because I'm going to start right here. So, fun fact, Lego is plural. So we don't say Legos.
Well, I'm gonna mess that
Right.
up.
Just it's one of those super nerdy
It's not
things.
leg eye.
No, it's apparently Lego. And so I don't really understand it. I've just kind of gone with it.
Huh.
So anyway, so you might hear me say Lego. If you say Legos, I won't get all
Okay.
gatekeepery on
Don't
you.
yuck my
Yeah.
yum.
No, that'll be it. Okay, so there's a bunch of little
Okay.
weird technical
Cool.
things like that that I'm going to try my best not to let it
Hmm.
sort of get in the way. But I was thinking that this would be kind of fun for anybody who's also sort of like new to Lego. So
Yeah, totally. I love learning all those little
cool.
things. I love learning in general, and I'm excited about this whole new experience and getting into the world of Lego.
Awesome. So that's the set right there that I am incredibly jealous. But it's just something that
It's quite
cannot
beautiful.
fit in my life. Let me go ahead and take a look at that. So what would you say it's like 2-3 feet wide or something like compared to
Yeah, about 2-ish feet, and then maybe like 10 inches deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty
so
solid.
nice. Well played. Let's start with this. Okay, super dorky stuff. So on the box, when it comes to Lego, there's a couple like basic info that they put on every single box. Title and theme. So there's the Lego system, which is the sort of standard Lego that you're used to seeing. And then from that, they've created a bunch of different themes, including licensed themes like this one. So Lord of the Rings would be considered
Hmm.
the theme. System, theme, and then this set would be called, I'm assuming Rivendell, unless do you see another set
Yeah,
name? It's just
I think it's
Rivendell,
just
right?
Rivendell.
Got it. So at the very bottom there, the gold strip that you were pointing out earlier
Hmm.
in the front, you'll see a bunch of numbers. What do we got?
Yes. So the first is 18 plus. So this is adults
Adults
only.
only. Get out of here, kid. It's
Which,
about to get.
very fitting.
Yep.
And then 10,316.
Oh, that's the set number. So every
Yes.
single Lego set has a unique identifier, like a set name. And I haven't
Mhm.
quite figured out if it's gone chronologically and they literally had a number 1 and number 2. I don't believe so, because I've looked at some of my older sets and my newer sets and they don't necessarily work out chronologically. That's kind of where we're at with this one.
Oh.
103, what is it? 10316?
316. Yep.
Okay. So that'll come into play later on my end when I'm going to try and pull up some of the instructions and other things that I'll talk about. And then after that, there
Okay.
should be another number.
Yes. 6,167 pieces.
It's huge, right? So I
Yeah.
don't know if you've if you
Literally.
factor, let's see, I wonder what the minutes to time, or sorry, the piece to minutes ratio would be, but it'll take you
Oh
some
God.
time. It'll
Yes.
take you some time to do this thing, which we've
I should
talked about.
record exactly how much time it takes me without getting distracted, which might be hard because I have ADD.
Right. And you'll find that maybe this might be a good way to focus, actually. Like I know
Yeah.
of folks who use Lego as a way of sort of as a coping thing, but also as a way to sort of address that.
I feel like it's definitely going to be a very cathartic experience.
Mhm.
I mean, I've always been fairly artistic and, doing like adult coloring books and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I love doing things, just kind of like mindless activities, or even like cooking for me too is very cathartic.
This is perfect. So when you say like adult coloring books, which is a fairly new phenomenon, right? No, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's so much that people are learning about the importance of that in terms of like mindfulness and focusing and relaxation,
hmm
that
hmm
I highly recommend Lego to folks in search of that. And actually during the pandemic and the lockdown, um, we Lego saw a surge in like brand new customers like yourself who were like,
Oh,
I'm kind of
really?
curious. I hadn't bought
Yeah.
a Lego in years and decades. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's why
That makes
coinciding
sense.
yeah, and coinciding with that, you see, them really leaning into a lot of more adult themed sets like the one that you have,
Mm.
as well as,
hmm
like, I don't know if you've seen, like, the Beatles artwork and the Batman
I don't think I
artwork.
have seen. No.
Yeah, they're sort of like 2D pieces that you build and you hang on your wall, like, there's one that's, a
Ah,
Van Gogh sort of recreation. So they're really not
that's cool.
about, like, kids sets,
Yeah.
they're still doing those, of course, but they're absolutely branching to this sort of new market that isn't even like gigantic nerds like me who just love Lego, but like really trying to branch off to more of a mainstream audience.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and
awesome.
this is a perfect crossover because with the Peter Jackson films, right? I think
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings has definitely sort of done that crossover from like super geeky circles to super mainstream Hollywood circles. So.
Yes. Yep,
Now, on
that
that
is for
note,
sure.
how did you get into this? We've talked before, but I know you've got a love for Tolkien. How did that all come to play?
I mean, Lord of the Rings, I would say, is maybe my top fandom. It's hard
Nice.
because Harry Potter was technically the first one. I got into Lord of the Rings weirdly, kind of like a mixed way. I
Mhm,
we got the Two Towers on DVD at a white elephant party.
mhm, mhm,
And then I watched it, but my parents were like, "Ew, what is this?" And I was like, "I mean, I don't hate it." I think the reason why it didn't hook me initially was because of all the Gollum, which I'm still not a fan of him. I sometimes fast forward through his scenes. It's not so much that like he scares me or anything. He's just like,
mhm.
ugh. Yeah, so we got that. And then I don't know, maybe like a couple years later, we were at a Christmas party and I was the only kid. And they're like, "Oh, you can go watch movies in the other room." And so I picked out The Fellowship and I watched it and I was hooked. Like that was it
Yeah,
for me. Like I was in and I was like, "Perfect. I already have the Two Towers." And then that was back in the days of Blockbuster and my mom had to re-rent those VHSs so many times, and the next year, I, like, begged for the special edition, DVD
mhm,
box set, which
mhm.
I have up there,
Yep.
and, And then like I asked for this even star necklace that I'm wearing, the one ring,
Nice.
which I have in silver, which sadly does not fit on my fingers anymore. And it's like super faded, and a bunch of other stuff. And then I think I read the books in high school for the first time finally, and read Lord of the Rings, read The Hobbit, and then sometime around college I started getting into the history of Middle Earth books.
Mm,
Just a couple of them. There's so many.
yeah.
And then the Silmarillion I finally tried out a couple years ago. And I tried it out again before Rings of Power, but it's a history book. I don't think anyone actually enjoys reading it.
No, I've made
As
3 attempts and failed
Yeah,
each time.
yeah.
One when I was really young and I was like, "Oh yeah, that cartoon." First, the sort of Hobbit Rankin Bass kids cartoon, and then it was
Mhm.
the Bakshi, kind of creepy, scary Lord of the Rings version. I didn't want to reread the story because I was like, "Oh, I know the story, right?"
Yeah.
So let me read. Oh, I heard there's a prequel, and I crash and burn. I don't think I got past a couple of pages that first time. The second time, it was like flipping through, and it was kind of okay, but I had no sense of the big picture. And
Yeah.
then the third time again before Rings of Power. So like, I'm
Yeah.
losing nerd cred, but no, I haven't gotten through it.
No, it's rough,
So you tried the
especially compared
Silmarillion,
to Lord of the Rings.
right? Which is like character focused, and there's a journey and all
Yeah,
this
and
growth.
describing a tree for 3 pages.
Yes.
I
Good.
was gonna say, but it does build, adds to world building, like you were saying,
Absolutely. Yeah.
by, really getting that visualization for it, especially because 'cause I'm a very visual person, so having all those little details, like, brings me into the story a lot more.
Perfect. So as far as visuals go, we get the Peter Jackson films, which were like visually stunning, and the
Yes.
Lego set that you're about to open is
Mhm.
actually, I haven't looked fully into this, but it seems like it's fully inspired by the Peter Jackson version of Rivendell. Is that
Yes.
right? It is.
It
Okay.
is. I mean, I don't know for sure, but looking at it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
knowing as much as I do and knowing, John Howe and Alan Lee's artwork that
Hmm.
was used for the films, this is pretty much it.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why I got it. Was I was shocked that they were able to do this with Legos.
Yeah.
Like, any other toy, like, just, like, cut and dry, like, already built,
Yep.
sure, like, you would expect that, but to make this out of literal bricks,
Hmm.
I blew my mind. I was just like, "This is so intricate," and that's
Yep.
the thing about Rivendell is, at least, in the Jackson films,
Hmm.
is that it is very intricate looking,
Yep.
it's very ornate,
Yep.
very bright and airy and colorful, and,
Yep.
um yeah.
And it's very of the natural world, which is something that
Mhm.
I appreciate about a lot of these sets. Like when I sit and try and wrap my head around how they design it, and you'll see that as you're building, you like every now and then it'll be like, wow, like you might get lost, figure out what is this supposed to be, and then you kind of realize, oh, this is making a tree or whatever it is. And if you even
Yeah.
looking at the box, it's like a lot of the shapes are not what you would expect you could pull off with this
Yeah.
toy. So.
Yeah. I'm
All right.
excited.
So let's get into that a little bit. I'm going to zoom. Let's see. All right. So let's take a look again. If we could. Cool. So let's check out the box. We kind of went through part count. We went through that kind of stuff. We know we're in the, we know we're doing the Lord of the Rings theme. Minifigs. Ooh, this is a good place. Let's do some terminology. First off, actually,
Okay.
we were talking nerd stuff. Your shirt, and then we'll come to my shirt.
Oh,
Your
yes.
shirt is very much in theme
It's
with,
from Rings of Power. I got it
yes,
at Comic-Con this past year.
men and elves and dwarves and harfoots, and is it orcs and
Orcs
rings
and
of
Rings of
power,
Power. It
right?
was from the, OneRing.net,
Okay,
booth. They had them.
great. So
They're
like
pretty
breaking
awesome.
down the races and the peoples involved in the Rings of
Yeah.
Power series. And so let's go back to this, the Lego side of things. So this will be these are some of the basic what would we call this, the categories of key pieces, piece types.
Uh-huh.
And it's like this is probably not something that a lot of people pay attention to, but when we're going to be sort of talking and saying like, hey, find this piece, right? It might be helpful to know what the difference between a brick, a plate, a tile, and a minifig are. But we'll start with this one. Minifigs, I'm sure we all know what those are, right? And so let's start there, because one of the things that I was obsessed with when it comes to Lego is like collecting minifigs. And there should be a place on the box where they kind of show them, right? Where
it is on the top.
Nice. Let's see who. Oh my God! Look how many. Oh, and these these expensive sort of adult sets do such a good job with photography, right? Normally they're just sort of like standing there front on, and here you go.
Yeah, I kind of like how this is just the minifigs. It's pretty cool.
So just as far as like price and secondary market and all that kind of thing, the number of minifigs is definitely something that sort of adds value to a set. And just so you know, like I know this is your thing, you're planning on keeping it, but people will often buy like a set and just sell off the minifigs and recoup a huge chunk of their
cost. That does not surprise me.
Yeah. You could probably get away with, especially if some of those are unique to the set. If you were just to sell the figures and find someone to buy them at sort of a standard price, I'd say you'd at least knock off a little over $100 off of that $500.
Yeah, I could see that.
Probably a little more. I don't know. Cool. So we got the fellowship. Is that what we've got mainly here?
I think we got just about everyone who was at the fellowship. Okay, so Boromir, that's definitely Legolas.
Yeah, it looks like there's multiple elves, right?
Yeah. I don't know if these are just also elves that were on the Council of Elrond. Possibly.
Yeah. So we've got Boromir, Legolas, 2 other elves. Looks like a female and a male.
And then I'm guessing this is supposed to be a dwarf because he's with Gimli. Right. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin. There's Elrond, Gandalf, Bilbo, Arwen. Who is that? Is that supposed to be Aragorn?
I think it's supposed to be Aragorn, yeah.
It looked like he was sleeveless.
We've got limited, Lego has a kind of a limited palette.
So they try their best to who doesn't have sleeves on? He's definitely got the scruff and the hair, so I'm like, right. Obviously Aragorn.
And that top right, is that supposed to be a statue? If I remember from the front, I think you might have a couple of minifigures that are actually statues.
Yes, there are.
Which is awesome.
A few.
So technically you've got like, this is your first Lego set and you've kind of got already like a huge collection of minifigs.
Perfect.
And then the back side, they usually will offer other photography that kind of is meant to highlight play features, because every single Lego set, even the sort of adult oriented ones, have sort of play features worked in.
They have the council of Elrond, Frodo in bed with Gandalf.
Oh, like when he wakes up from being
when he wakes up
the wound. That's right.
After he's been healed from getting stabbed by the Morgul blade.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, I know. Frodo and Gandalf are not in the bed together.
All good.
Boromir and Aragorn with the shards of Narsil. And then Bilbo writing his book. And then we have the forging.
Nice. And you said Narsil. When you see Narsil there, do they actually have a like a sword that's broken?
Yes, right here.
So those are probably exclusive pieces to this set.
Focus on it. There. Is it a little more focused? Oh,
better.
No, it just went away.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna get into it anyways. Okay. So are you ready to unbox?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
But as we sort of said before, there are people who would like.
This is cool.
What you got?
There's more artwork here.
Oh.
That's Sauron.
Ooh, man. I wonder if that could be a fun tease as to what they could be doing in the future.
Maybe.
I would love to have a Sauron minifig. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah. Is there another box within a box?
Probably. So because they don't want things rattling around and shipping and stuff, they'll
okay.
Yeah, there may be sort of an organizer. Go for it.
Yeah, this
my God, that thing looks so heavy.
It is chonky. It literally on the outer box had a warning. It was like, this is heavy. So there's a box and then a lot of bags.
Yep. So Lego sets will often be broken up into small bags, and it's in the order. There, you'll see numbers on them, and so the instructions will guide you through which bag to open. So it's kind of nice that way, especially if it's like a big set like this that'll take some time. You can just sort of focus on, bag 1, 2, 3, and kind of put everything else away so it can be nice and tidy while you're working. Some people I think in their heads imagine that it's going to be like hundreds of thousands of pieces that they're staring at.
Yeah.
But no. Lego as a company is super smart. It's like a super organized process. Look at that. I've only built 2 large sets in my life.
With some ASMR, Lego ASMR.
Yeah.
These must be really small pieces. There's like a little box in there.
Yeah, so that's right. There are bags within bags too, just so you know, for the tiny pieces, so that they're not like all the tiny pieces aren't kind of swimming in a big set. There it goes.
Luckily, it's just my bed there. Wow. I'm just gonna go into Narnia now.
I feel like you could totally disappear.
Box.
Yeah, you could disappear.
Honestly, I could probably put this over me and turn into a Lego, essentially, because it would probably cover my entire top half.
I don't have the effects budget, but sure.
There's so many. Wow. Also,
are you seeing like the weeks disappear as you're pulling out bags and bags of pieces?
I think it'll be a really, like we were talking about, really calming thing to do.
Yep. And in the end, actually not even along the way, you're just going to trip out on sort of like what you've built as it starts to come together.
I'm going to make sure I put one aside. I know I put it over here. Nope, maybe I didn't. There's one. Save that for later.
We talked about the box thing, and there are actually like hardcore fans who will pay a good amount of money just for the box. I wouldn't be surprised if you could sell the box for like $30, $30 to someone. Mainly if they're interested in potentially like, trying to part out the set, which is actually a pretty big set to part out, and then be able to sell and say, I've got the box too. So, that is a thing. And I often will save, I'm such a liar. I've pretty much saved almost all of my boxes and they're sitting up in the attic. It's ridiculous.
So it's like mint on card, but Legos.
Basically.
Boxes.
And so with Lego.
It's the same artwork on this side.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering if it was going to be something different.
Yeah.
It's the same. Sadly.
And just like mint on card, people will be real picky about the damage on the box, which is why, like, if you care, you care. If you don't, you don't. I think what we're going to try and get through today in this sort of first pre-recorded episode is probably like a bag or 2, depending on how it's going for you. And then sort of walk you through like the instructions and everything, which really you don't need a whole lot, but just for the sake of like the audience and stuff. We will end after about 1 or 2 bags, depending where we're at. And then you'll kind of just go through it at your own pace. And then we'll come back together and do some live streams of you kind of building. And we'll kind of talk about what you had accomplished prior and how it's gone and just continue the process. So if you're watching this right now, just go back to the Brick Something channel and go ahead and take a look at my upcoming lives, and you'll sort of see what we have scheduled when the next one from myself and Kayla will kind of go through.
I really should get like a actual box cutter instead of scissors. Might be a good idea. Yeah, a lot more bags, and then
yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Woo. Wow, this feels like a textbook.
It's going to be 3 different little manuals.
3 of these?
Yep. Oh, no. 3 inside that.
Oh, 3 inside that. Here's some plates.
There you go.
I'm getting it. And some bigger pieces.
49, it looks like, is the
Okay.
highest.
That's perfect for the 49ers.
While you are doing that and you're getting the instructions, I'm going to sort of, look at that. Woo!
This is insane.
Yep. It's
wow.
it's a whole
why didn't they?
thing.
Is there a reason why they didn't just put it in one? Oh, and look at how they numbered them. This is really cool. This is 1. This is 2.
Oh, that's
2
awesome.
leaves.
Oh,
and
that's
3 leaves.
awesome. Very good. Very good.
Very cool.
Yeah, man, those
Sorry.
designers, they know what they're doing over at Lego. Okay,
Very
while
nice.
you're sort of getting situated, I'm gonna walk folks through this. In the age of the internet, pretty much any Lego sets instructions are available online on a database. And so this is just Lego's website, their customer service. And can you give me that number again? Was it set 103?
316.
Right. So 10316, and you'll see it pop up here. The Lord of the Rings Rivendell. Recreate favorite moments from Middle Earth with the 6,167 piece Lego, The Lord of the Rings. Yada yada. All right, there you go. So I click on that and it's going to take me to here. We got a part 1, a part 2, and part 3. And as you pointed out, the 1 leaf, the 2 leaf, and the 3 leaf. Each one, let's see, the first one's 72 megs, second one is 78, and the third one's a big one at 184 megs.
That makes sense because, this one's definitely thicker than the other 2.
Let me open up something else.
Also, it's cool how in each one, like looks like it's the 3 different parts. So like this part is more detailed, and then the second one, this end part is more detailed.
It's showing you
the middle part, which part it's gonna be built in.
Yep.
Logic.
Yep. Again, well, that's the thing about Lego is like super design driven because of sort of the culture that it comes out of. But also they have to figure out a way to like sell this relatively complicated model making is essentially what it is to kids, right? And to folks who maybe don't do this normally. And so it's very visual driven. And as we look at and you can flip through while I sort of show them, it's all images, no text.
Which is perfect.
Yep.
Because I am a visual person.
Yeah.
I knew some of it would probably be in color, but it's literally, I don't really know how to flip through this. It's literally all in color.
And it needs to be, because you need
even
to
the gray
tell
background.
Because you're going to need to be able to tell which pieces you need and how like they're going to look next to each other. So
I'm just surprised by the gray background, I think, is my thing.
Yeah. So you can really focus in on the pieces, right?
I think it's, a little easier on the eyes, maybe.
Yep.
So just white.
Okay, so let me go ahead and share that. So that's what you've got in front of you, book 1. And, just a quick preview, right? That's what you're going to be doing, right? The VIP, which we talked about off camera, but for the folks who are new to this, if you are going to get Lego in general, particularly from the Lego store, you participate in their Lego VIP program, which is kind of like a rewards program, which you can get, turn into sort of money. You can earn points for every dollar that you spend, and after a certain amount, you can turn that into discounts or other gift items. Because really, just this one set alone is probably going to get you close to about $50 off of more Lego. I'm just going to sort of zoom through, and you can flip through your book if you want. Like these adult driven, collector driven sort of they used to be called the Ultimate Collector Series sets. Really go out of their way to kind of like get you into the sort of mood and the background of where the set is from. In this case, it's the movie, right? And so they're gonna give you a little bit of background. They give you like let you know who's involved, right? There's the Fellowship. Look at that. I love
That's
that.
really
Uber
funny.
geeky. Yeah, they're like, look, he's got the
At
Lego
first, I
axe.
was like, I get it now.
Look at that. Yeah, no,
That's
they are the
awesome.
Fellowship.
That's really cool.
Beautiful. I mean, so many people had to work on this. And these are I remember when Lego announced that they were licensing the Lord of the Rings movies. Man, I was
Yeah,
just
I did
all
not
over it.
even know they made other ones before this.
Oh yeah. I have this set.
That Tower of Orthanc.
Yeah, that was one of those early ones, right? So again, there is this newer phenomenon of these larger sets, and you can take a look at this. This for the time was huge, and it really is not nearly as big as the set you have in front of you.
Yeah.
But for its time,
It's
this
like a
was
third of the
a big one.
size because it's 2,359.
Jeez. But yeah, now we're getting, for a while it was like every now and then they do these things, and then eventually it became one a year. Then it was like 2 big sets a year. And we're at the point now where if you go to a Lego store, you'll see this set, you'll see the Titanic, you'll see the globe is still out there. Like there's just all sorts of stuff. Huge sets. I think the Black Panther mask is still around, bust is still there.
Ooh,
So it's just kind of
cool.
become a thing now. And yeah, it's a great time to be a Lego fan for sure.
Yeah.
So this is where you're going to be building first, I believe, from this first, the
The
tower.
tower.
I love it. Like you could just geek out on the lore, right? It's
I
like
yeah, I was gonna
and the
say I like how it
story and
actually gives you the background and then it shows, Bilbo and Frodo.
and here you go. This is what I was
Cute.
talking about earlier. The legs. Frodo features dual molded legs to show his bare feet. Oh yeah, that's right. These are newish. So yeah. Anyways, a geeky process where it's like 2 types of plastic, the dark brown and the pink. That's not painted. It's just 2 different types of plastic in one mold.
Hmm.
Oh my god, look at his freaky little Bilbo freak out face.
Oh yeah. I love how they included that face. That part scares me sometimes.
And so on the other side of him will probably be a more stoic or cheerful, normal face.
Oh, on the back of the head. I forgot about that, how
That's
they
really cool.
have
Yep.
those.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
So so another fun little
I remember
part type.
this.
This is a special one. This is the Brick Separator. And back in the day we didn't have these, but they are really cool and really useful, and I use them all
I
the
see
time.
it. I
You
see it in my bag.
yep. So, if you're trying to pry off like a flat tile on a brick, and, they show you instructions here, but you'll, just intuitively, these things are so easy to use. You can pry up tiles, you can poke out. So this piece
Bottom.
here, you'll appreciate this little piece going into a hole in a brick,
Mhm.
pushing out this large rod. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Those are they're called Technic, Technic. It was sort of this other system that developed that was more for like engineering type stuff with
Uh-huh.
gears and cogs. So
Oh,
you'll see
yeah.
those pieces used a lot in big sets. It's pretty common now actually. So if you're seeing weird things that don't look like they have studs that connect, it's a Technic piece or a gear or whatever. So just FYI, you might hear that as we go through.
Okay.
So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's so again, visually, they're just showing you
That's
these
awesome.
5 boxes, you're gonna get to there. So let's get you started.
And also
Actually,
includes Frodo and Sam.
yep. And here's like,
And then the
oh,
next
look,
one's Bilbo.
look at that. It kind of walks you through it. Beautiful. Yep. Bilbo and the bed.
Love
There's the
it.
bed with Gandalf. Awkward.
That's perfect because it tells you to open 1 and 2, and I have 1 and 2 right here.
Perfect. Let's do it. Let's Lego cam.
There we go. Beautiful goodness.
All right, let the actual play date begin. This is fun.
Okay. Loud.
So everybody goes about building differently. I have known people who will open up everything and sort of sort out pieces by color. It's
I
just
already
not.
lost one.
Some people will do pre-sorting or like really go super meticulous. I don't generally do that. It takes a lot of time. But what I like to do is make sure that I kind of spread the pieces around so that, because I'll inevitably get into this place where like, where is that piece? And it's like underneath another piece.
Oh my god,
So
I
just-
found the rings. There's 2 of
Ooh.
them. So it looks like this is the cloth goods. Soft goods. Is this all of them?
You
There's a
action
lot in
figure
here.
nerd. Look at you. Soft.
Hey,
good.
I'm learning.
Yeah,
Is
those are
the-
all of the capes. It's kind of this cool, like papery fabric thing that I've tried to find. There are people who do try and make like sort of replica and like custom capes, but it's never quite the same material as Lego makes.
So this one, he has the dark green. I'll put these back. There's his body. Body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. Oh my god.
There's the legs.
They're so stumpy.
They don't
All
aren't
feet.
they're not articulated, right? They're
No.
just yeah.
They're just little stumps.
There was a
Stumpies.
third party who was making articulated ones at one point.
Okay,
Very
so
cool.
I'm gonna move these so I can get this on screen.
Oh god, that looks like
So
a great
yeah, it
time.
looks like we have a regular face. It's getting close. Use the back of my hand. And then looks like a worried face maybe. Focus. Nope. Doesn't
Oh,
want to
he's got the sort of white eyes, right?
Yeah, it could be,
Like when he
after
was wounded.
stabbed
Yeah.
with the mortal blade. I'm gonna do that one.
And I'm just gonna let
Okay.
you see how it goes.
So you just twist it. Cape, then head. Alright. Oh no. Already lost his hair. There we go. Looking spiffy already. There's the legs. There's Frodo.
Look at Frodo. Oh no, he's been stabbed. Oh wow, the graphics on his.
It's a flesh wound.
Yeah. Can we focus? There you go. Yep.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Beautiful.
Did you happen to notice, did he have any printing on his back or legs or anything? No.
He does.
Yeah.
Show off
Nice.
your backside, Frodo.
Mm-hmm.
That booty. You can't really see it, but there's like creases on the back.
Yeah, it looks like the
Just a little bit.
cinching his coat.
Cinching, yeah.
Very cool.
There we go. Okay. Yay.
Yeah, Lego people get, they get all excited with back printing because there's, it adds value.
And then he can hold the ring. Can't forget the ring.
Not exactly to scale.
Yeah. Not as imagine if they did, it would just be like a speck.
It's like a bracelet.
It would be like
they don't have fingers either, so it'd be a little awkward. Kind of there.
There we go. Cool. So let's see. Oh my gosh. Does this mean I have to count all of these?
So I'm gonna present the instructions again, and so that the folks at home can kind of get a sense of what you're looking at.
People that have done this a million times are gonna be like, "Come on."
No, we're good. So for folks who are newer to Lego, at the top, like I know folks who just kind of go through it and they don't pay attention to the logic of these things, but I love the way that Lego is sort of thought through how to build. It'll tell you, like, we're just focusing step by step. These are the two pieces you're looking for. We didn't talk about the numbers. So the studs are the studs, right? The little bumpy parts that lock into, right? So that's how we sort of identify pieces. So for example, the plate that's up there, if I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, it's a 12 long and 2 wide. We call those 2 by 12s, right? So you're looking for a 2 by 12 beige plate and a 2 by 10 beige brick. So if you just whatever, like if, and how satisfying is that? Like little, you really got to push them, like make sure that there's no gaps between.
Solidly in there.
Yeah, like I work with my kids longest time, and I'm totally that nerdy father who's like, no man, you didn't put these together right. You got to push them. No gaps, no gaps.
No gaps. So then it looks like it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
It goes here.
And really, if you find yourself like, oops, something's wrong, just, work your way backwards, figure out which step you missed. Because I often will like focus on one part and forget like, oh, that was what.
Let's see.
Are you about step 3?
2. Yep. So I need one of these, another 10. It looks like 2 green guys.
That's what I say too.
Green
or
guys.
Those little green thingies, or
green thingies.
Where's the beige dude? Yeah. So these little pieces, the little blue pieces, you notice the little hole in the middle?
Yes, I do.
That is that sort of like Technic piece that is an example of one of those Technic pieces that takes, like, usually there'll be a rod or a clip or a pin inside.
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna move these over to make it easier. There.
I love this stuff, man. I love just even the design of it, the visuals.
Yeah.
Infographic-y, like, totally reminds me of like the airport or airline emergency procedure stuff in the back.
Oh, yes,
of the seat.
it does.
I love that stuff.
I was wondering what it reminded me of.
And it's just so clean and orderly and organized. Systems, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dig it. I mean, it's like, how else do you turn the chaos of, 6,000 pieces right? Someone takes the time to make this gorgeous like work of art, and then you're basically replicating it piece by piece. So there has to be a logical way of doing that.
What does the symbol mean? The little like sphere
what step?
turner thing.
Okay. On 3, it's saying that you have to kind of turn it. So if you take a look over here on step 2, it was oriented this way.
Oh, I see.
With the brick piece, the brick piece at the front, and then it's telling you turn it 90 degrees,
these
basically.
The blue pieces go behind. Is that what it's saying with the arrows there?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So behind that, because you can't see the studs, but it's
telling you that. Okay, I see that in the next picture. I figured it would show it in the next one.
Yep. You got it.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's really silly. Like, I feel like I'm totally mansplaining here, but it's like, you don't need to.
No.
Like, it really is just sort of visual. But, there are some folks who, like, I know do get a little bit lost, or they're not sure what to do. So, but once you take a look, do you notice the little Frodo at the bottom that is taking you through how far you've progressed?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I love it.
How funny. I'm guessing it's just in this book, not total. Oh, and actually, no, it extends to the other page. So maybe yes.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
you've done that. You've done that. Yep. And the other thing with this is the engineering, right? Like I learned so much about like, oh yeah, how do you build a thing? And the idea that you need a skeleton underneath or a framework to kind of support it.
Yeah.
Love Lego. Of course, I've been sort of sucked back into the action figure world.
Yes.
In the last 2 years, which is also a thing of my childhood. But for the last 2 decades, seriously, like 20 years, I haven't really bought action figures, and it's just been about Lego.
That is a long time.
Yes, I'm old.
All right. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it already.
Yeah, right?
It's one thing I've always been grateful for is that I can catch on to things pretty quickly. This looks taller, but I know this is also the right piece.
What step are you on? 11?
I'm on 10.
Okay.
It's the right piece. I'm just
second
guessing myself. So then it looks like this goes here. This goes here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that like this is still movable. Like this green part didn't connect these two.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
Yeah.
There'll probably be another piece that will.
I see it right here. Yeah, so those two green pieces, sorry, the green 1x2 is right at the edge of that plate. So those plates are just butt up against each other.
Right here.
Eventually, you're going to be building on top of this that'll connect it all together. Yeah.
I figured as much.
Trust the system.
Starting from the bottom up. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I count this right?
Yeah, by like step 30, you're not even going to be counting anymore. You're going to be like, oh yeah, that's a 5x10. Yeah, that's a 4x8.
I feel like I'm counting this wrong because I'm not seeing another one. Is it 10 or I'm just counting this wrong?
You're on 11?
Yes.
That's a 6x10.
No, the first one.
The first one is a 1x10.
I think my eyes are starting to hurt.
Yeah, and they're all the same.
It's because of the lights, not because of anything else. And then the rest are 10.
Yeah, you're probably not normally building Lego with giant lights in your face for the camera.
Yeah, 2 giant lights. All right. Goes right here.
Oh, interesting. Did the instructions go away?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. So we are at a point where you're a little stuck. So what step are you in? Are you still in 12?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're trying to get it to connect to, I'm pointing with my mouse.
I just realized the outside. I messed something up here. Oh no.
Go back to step, I think.
Oh no. Wait.
On step 10, yours does look a little different. Oh no, I can't tell. I see the top of a white. I see 2 white studs. But I don't think I'm supposed to.
Like this is supposed to go here, but it doesn't. There's like something missing. So I'm wondering if there's supposed to be another piece.
Oh, I see, I see, I see. So you're actually not see that little white thing that's sticking out? Here, wait, let me get the instructions up.
This one?
Yeah, you're not supposed to see that. You're supposed to push that back.
Push it back?
Yeah, so do you
Oh,
see here in
wait.
this in the instructions on my how come I can't zoom now? There. Do you see how like the back of this gray thing is right to against this plate?
Yeah.
We don't see those two white studs. So remove that white stud, disconnect it from the bottom, and push it back. All right, did you already do it?
It
Let me
is
see the
in
bottom.
there.
Right. So you can take off that. You should be able to take
So
off
it just needs to
that
go
plate.
back.
Yeah.
Where did I mess that up? Oh, I see. Yeah, I just didn't make it flush.
Yep. You had to remove that and push it back. Cool, cool.
Yeah. So now this goes on here. Yay. Getting more vertical. All right.
So you're now.
Sweet. Yeah. Glad caught that early. No, this definitely needs to be pushed. All right. So to use this guy.
Yeah, there is going to be no gap there. Yes. There you go.
Do this. Is this how you do it?
You got it.
Oh, there we
Yep.
go.
Just put it on. Look at
Ooh,
that. Isn't that fun?
sweet.
Yep.
That was fun. But how do I get to these ones?
What are we dealing with? You'd probably have to take
These.
the wedge out first. The green wedge out
The
first.
wedge.
Oh, you're trying to take out those two. Oh.
I could probably take this off. Yeah, there we go. I'll just move it back.
Yeah.
There we go.
And you could also use the flat end to pry them up.
Learning. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, why is there this gap here? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Sweet. Beautiful.
Can you turn it in the camera? So yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it looks like the image on the instructions over here. That's what you got. So you've got only 48 more bags to go.
I mean, I still have a few more steps in this one, but yes.
Right. You are, let's see, where you are Bilbo right over here.
I'm making my way downtown, walking fast.
Here
little
trying to
legs
get
going nowhere.
over here. Yeah. But yeah, you got it. You got the basic idea.
Yay.
So now,
Only messed
as
up
we were
twice.
saying earlier, we will probably a good place to pause. We're getting a little long here and it'll take some editing. So, okay. So this was your first time and just the beginning of your first time, because this is a whole long experience and
Just
you're going to
the tip.
savor your first time. Yes, this is just the tip. So we're going to work our way slowly through this entire thing, right? And so the idea is, again, we'll sign off soon and we'll come back, say Thursday, 6:30 Pacific time, March 23rd. And we'll do a live stream and sort of we'll pick up from wherever you were able to get to between now and then. And then we'll just keep building, keep talking, keep geeking out. But so far, how has your beginning of your first time been?
Just the tip. It's been good. I really like the challenge of it, and I feel like it's already cathartic and I'm already like itching to do more. Yeah, I like being able to like visualize all the pieces. Like I feel like the instructions are fairly easy to follow. kind of wish there was like maybe something written, just because it wasn't clear with like, this piece being flush to the edge.
Right.
Like in the
Right.
picture, you could not tell. Um, but besides that, like fairly easy to follow. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm excited to keep building, and see what in the heck this turns into. Like I know what it's supposed to turn
Yeah.
into, but
Yeah.
like can't quite see it yet.
That's the beautiful part. Eventually, it's just going to hit this
Yeah.
magic point where you're like, oh, that's what I've been working on. So
Mhm.
very cool. So ultimately, we're going to end up with the home of Elrond and Rivendell, and it's going to be
Yep.
gorgeous. And we're along for this. We're in for this journey.
Yes.
Cool. So again, we'll come back on a live stream on Thursday, March 23rd, 6:30 Pacific time. I will be editing this and hopefully get it up by tomorrow so that people can kind of get used to the idea, hear about it, and hopefully join us. And I will warn you right now that as we're building, we're probably going to slow down a little bit, because if people are on and people are chatting, we're going to be talking and you'll get distracted. So I am kind of curious to hear what it's like for you to be away from the cameras and just build, and what that's like versus what we did tonight and maybe what we did with a chat. So
I kind of felt like, like it's fun, but also that like, teachers looking over your shoulder at the same time. So I feel like it'll be a little easier next time with, having practice on my own and finding that piece that I dropped.
Right. Cool. Well, again, this is super exciting. Thank you again for sort of sharing your first time with me here on Brick Something.
Happy
I hope
to share my first time with you.
Yay. I hope it's been this sort of fun journey into a whole new world of geekdom, built on top of your already existing solid foundation of Tolkien nerdosity. Before we go, is there anything that you want folks to know about, like maybe other things they can check out when it comes to the whole Kayla Silva Silver K experience?
If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is also Silver K. I believe it is with 2 Y's though. And
that's just confusing, Kayla.
Yeah, I should have changed that. I'm realizing now. But also, if you search it, I'm sure it'll come up. Yes. My face is in the picture, and you can
I will do my due diligence and put it in the description. Yes.
Okay, cool. And you can find other things from there. That is what I'll say. Yep.
Yes. Cool. So again, this Thursday we'll be live streaming and we'll continue with this thing. So why don't you go ahead and take us out?
So Rivendell Lego set. Is this the one Lego set to rule them all? Guess we'll find out.
Again, I really appreciate you checking out Brick Something. If you liked what you saw, click the like and subscribe buttons, because those tiny acts really help grow the channel. If you're looking for even more geeky goodness, take a look at the video on the left by a fellow member of the Legion of Lesser Toy Tubers. And until next time, peace and power.